Marriage is one of the most profound commitments that two people can make, an intertwining of hearts, dreams, fears, and futures. But even the most beautiful promises can fade if they are not nurtured. Even the strongest foundations can crack if they are never reinforced. And even the deepest connections can turn into quiet distances if the people who share them stop reaching toward each other. Today, I want to talk about something essential, something tender, something powerful, something that often gets overshadowed by the busyness of life, the harshness of routine, the noise of responsibilities, and the demands of survival. Intimacy. Not just physical closeness, though that matters too. Not just romantic gestures, though they have their place. But true intimacy. The kind that reaches beyond skin and touches the soul. The kind that builds a sanctuary between two people. The kind that turns a marriage into a lifelong friendship, a safe haven, a place of belonging. Because without intimacy, marriage becomes an arrangement. With intimacy, marriage becomes a living, breathing partnership. What is intimacy, really? Intimacy is not merely proximity. You can live in the same house, sleep in the same bed, eat at the same table, and still feel miles apart. Intimacy is connection. It is stepping into the emotional space of the person you love without fear and without pretense. It is trusting them with your truth, the beautiful parts, the broken parts, the parts that don't make sense even to you. Intimacy is being fully seen and fully accepted. It is saying, "Here I am," and hearing, "Stay with me." There are many forms of intimacy: emotional, physical, spiritual, intellectual. Each one adds a thread to the bond between two people. Each one matters. But all forms of intimacy require two ingredients: courage and consistency. Because intimacy will not grow in a relationship where both partners are afraid to be honest. It cannot survive where small resentments pile up like debris. And it cannot thrive in routines where affection becomes optional. Intimacy must be chosen, again and again. Why intimacy matters in marriage. Marriage is not sustained by ceremony. It is sustained by connection. Intimacy is the glue that binds two people together when life gets noisy, chaotic, or painful. It is the anchor that keeps couples from drifting apart when work becomes demanding, when children require attention, when stress invades the home, when mistakes are made and apologies are overdue. Intimacy strengthens a marriage in three profound ways. 1. Intimacy creates emotional safety. Emotional safety is the foundation of every thriving marriage. When two people feel safe with each other, safe to speak, safe to express, safe to be vulnerable, they build trust at the deepest level. Think about the last time someone really listened to you. Not while scrolling on their phone. Not while planning their response. But truly listening. Didn't it feel like being valued? Didn't it feel like being understood? In marriage, emotional safety means you can share your fears without being judged. You can admit your flaws without being shamed. You can dream out loud without being mocked. You can struggle without being abandoned. When emotional safety exists, love can breathe. When it doesn't, love suffocates. 2. Intimacy strengthens commitment and loyalty. People do not drift away because of one argument, one bad day, or one difficult season. They drift away because the distance grew, little by little, while no one tried to close it. Intimacy is what keeps that distance from growing. When you are emotionally connected, physically present, mentally engaged, and spiritually aligned with your spouse, the relationship becomes resilient. You stop feeling like two separate individuals fighting your own battles, you feel like a team. Intimacy protects a marriage from temptations, misunderstandings, loneliness, and emotional exhaustion. Where intimacy lives, loyalty grows naturally. Not out of obligation, but out of devotion. 3. Intimacy brings joy, peace, and fulfillment. Marriage is meant to be more than coexistence. More than bills and chores. More than schedules and responsibilities. Marriage is supposed to be a source of joy. A source of peace. A place where you can lay down the armor you carry for the world and finally breathe. Intimacy is what transforms a house into a home. It is what creates laughter in the kitchen, warmth in conversations, tenderness in touch, and softness in the heart. Without intimacy, marriage can feel like a polite partnership. With intimacy, marriage becomes a journey of shared life. The barriers to intimacy. If intimacy is so powerful, why do so many couples lose it? Not because they don't love each other. Not because they don't want connection. But because life, stress, habits, and unresolved issues can slowly build walls. Let's talk about the most common barriers. 1. Lack of communication. Communication is not just talking. Communication is connection, but many couples stop communicating meaningfully. Conversations become transactional. Did you pay the bill? What's for dinner? Pick up the kids at 4. Functional communication keeps the household alive. Emotional communication keeps the marriage alive. When couples stop sharing their feelings, dreams, frustrations, and needs, intimacy begins to fade. Remember, communication is not about how much you talk. It's about what you talk about. 2. Unresolved conflict and hidden resentment. Nothing kills intimacy faster than bitterness buried under silence. Many couples avoid conflict because they fear hurting each other, or they fear confrontation, or they simply don't know how to express themselves without it turning into a fight. So they suppress their feelings. They pretend they're fine. They say, it's nothing, even when it is something. But emotions that are ignored do not disappear, they turn into emotional distance. Intimacy cannot grow where resentment is stored. 3. Neglect and routine. People often think marriages fail because of huge betrayals. But more often, marriages fail because of small neglects repeated over time. Forgetting to say, thank you. Forgetting to touch. Forgetting to compliment. Forgetting to listen. Forgetting to spend quality time. Life gets busy, yes. But intimacy requires presence. If you don't intentionally connect with your partner, life will unintentionally disconnect you from them. 4. Fear of vulnerability. True intimacy requires exposure, not physical, but emotional. And emotional exposure is scary. Especially for those who have been hurt before. Especially for those who grew up in environments where vulnerability was unsafe. But without vulnerability, intimacy cannot exist. You cannot be close to someone if you never let them see the parts of you that need love the most. 5. Misunderstanding the role of physical intimacy. Physical intimacy is not the whole of intimacy. But it is an important expression of love, connection, tenderness, and reassurance. When couples misunderstand or neglect physical closeness, the relationship may feel incomplete or imbalanced. Physical intimacy is not merely about desire, it is about bonding. It is the language of affection when words fall short. It is a reaffirmation of love. When physical intimacy fades, emotional intimacy often follows. Rebuilding intimacy, a step-by-step pathway. If intimacy has faded in your marriage, do not despair. Intimacy can be rebuilt, even after years of distance, even after pain, even after mistakes. It requires two people willing to show up, to be honest, and to try. Here's how intimacy can be restored. 1. Start with honest communication. Sit down with each other and speak truthfully. How are you feeling? What do you need from me? How can we reconnect? What have we been avoiding? What hurts that we haven't addressed? These conversations may feel uncomfortable at first, but they open the door to healing. Honesty is the birthplace of intimacy. 2. Practice daily affection. Small gestures matter. A hug in the morning. A kiss before bed. A hand on the shoulder. A touch on the arm. A compliment spoken softly. Affection is a reminder. I see you. I'm here with you. You matter to me. Never underestimate the power of gentle touch. 3. Spend intentional quality time together. Not just watching TV. Not just sitting in the same room. Not just completing tasks. Quality time means undistracted presence. Take walks together. Cook together. Pray together. Talk about life, dreams, worries, hopes. Connection grows through shared moments, not shared spaces. 4. Heal old wounds. Sometimes intimacy fades not because of the present, but because of the past. If there are old hurts lingering, talk about them. Forgive. Apologize. Release what no longer serves the relationship. Healing is a gift you give not only to your marriage, but to yourself. 5. Rekindle physical intimacy. Approach physical closeness not as an obligation, but as a beautiful expression of love. Be patient. Be tender. Rebuild slowly if needed. Communicate openly about comfort and desires. When physical intimacy is healthy, it strengthens emotional intimacy, and vice versa. 6. Choose love daily. Intimacy is not built in grand gestures. It is built in daily decisions. Choosing patience over anger. Choosing understanding over judgment. Choosing conversation over silence. Choosing affection over withdrawal. Choosing us over me. Marriage thrives when two people choose each other, not once, not twice, but every day. The transformative power of intimacy. When intimacy is present, marriage becomes a refuge. It becomes a partnership built not on convenience, but on connection. Not on obligation, but on affection. Not on mere survival, but on shared purpose. Intimacy strengthens communication, nurtures love, deepens trust, and renews commitment. It brings joy, laughter, comfort, and peace. It makes the journey of life not just bearable, but beautiful. Because marriage is not about finding someone you can live with, it is about finding someone you cannot imagine living without. And intimacy transforms that person from a partner to a soulmate, from a spouse to a best friend. A final message to every married couple. In a world full of distractions, protect your marriage fiercely. In a world full of pressure, nurture your marriage gently. In a world full of noise, safeguard your connection quietly. Do not let routine dull the shine of your love. Do not let stress harden your hearts. Do not let silence replace communication. Do not let distance grow between you unnoticed. Intimacy is not a luxury. It is a necessity. Because a marriage without intimacy is like a garden without water. It may survive for a while, but it will not blossom. So water your garden. Nurture your connection. Touch each other. Listen to each other. Laugh together. Grow together. Heal together. Choose each other again and again. Your marriage is worth it. Your connection is worth it. Your intimacy is worth it. Because love is not maintained by chance, it is maintained by choice. And intimacy is the most beautiful choice you can make.